welcome back, my friend. Landon Stewart here.
And Chris Stapleton.
And thanks for being here. So here's what we're going to do inside of this video. We are going to walk you through our video ad framework. Let me go ahead and pull up my pen here because I like to draw throughout these videos. So
As you can't tell.
Yeah, and so here's what we want to do. We're going to do a couple of things in this video. Number one, we're going to walk you through our video ad framework so that you know exactly how to create a high compelling video ad that causes someone to click on the link and go through your sales
funnel. You might notice something.
Yeah. Now you might notice something about the framework.
Looks a little similar.
It's the exact same framework as the story ad. And then what we're going to do after we dive into the framework for a second is we're going to show you an example walkthrough of one of my own video ads that did really, really well. A video ad that made me tens and tens of thousands of dollars, got nearly 200,000 views on Facebook and did really well. It generated me around 3,000 leads. We're going to walk you through it, why it works so well, really break it down for you so that you're super clear on how to make your own videos. Now, some of you watching this, you've never shot a video before. You might be completely brand new to internet marketing and you're a little nervous to shoot your first video. And I just want to let you know that that's okay.
It's normal, actually.
Every single one of us. I remember when I first shot my first videos online, they weren't very good. I was nervous. I remember reading from my screen because I thought that was what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
They just weren't very good and I was nervous, and that's okay. The reality is that getting good at video comes down to just one thing, and that's repetitions. It's just shooting more videos. The more you shoot video, the better you'll get at it. So
actually, that soccer analogy is kind of cool.
Yeah. Here, let me give that. I don't think we talked about that yet.
Not yet.
They're in the book, the talent code. Did we talk about this at all in the very first video?
We did not.
Okay, so in the book, the talent code, which is amazing, highly recommend this book. Essentially, what it's about is it's about how to develop skills, like how skills are actually developed. And one of the studies that they did in the book was they went to a country outside of the United States, which was like this tiny country. I don't remember where it was or all the details. I read it about 2 years ago, but it really stuck with me. And so they went to this country. It's a really small country. So imagine this is the country right here. It's a really small country compared to the United States, but they were churning out way more professional soccer players than the U.S. was. And they couldn't figure out why. Like in the U.S., we have all these people, all these resources. We have all this stuff. Why are their professional teams better than the U.S.? So they went there to discover what's going on? Why are they better? And here's what they found, and it's amazing, and you can take this with you forever. Yeah. What they found was that the kids in this little country, they played this little game growing up where they were basically in this little square. I don't remember the exact size.
It's smaller. They said about the size of average living rooms.
Is that what it was?
That's what I thought you said.
Okay, yeah, that's probably right. That's probably right.
A little smaller.
The size of a living room, they were playing this little game where the goal of the game was similar to soccer. You were trying to score it, but they were, instead of playing on a massive soccer field, they were playing in this little living room. And so
usually outside too. You know,
yeah. Not in an actual, but
about the size of
a living room sized space.
Yeah.
And so what happened is they were getting way more touches of the ball. So in the U.S., you have this giant field, and they would practice on this giant field. So for every one time an American kid would touch the ball, they were touching the ball like 100 times.
Yeah.
And so their footwork was vastly superior to America. Like they had way more touch, way more control.
More
their
balance.
Feet.
Yep,
they had better hand-foot coordination, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Foot-eye coordination.
Yep.
Whatever it's called. So they were just better, and the only difference was they were just touching the ball more.
That's it. They didn't have the better technology.
Yeah, no, they were
They
playing
didn't have
in
better
dirt.
Resources. They were touching the ball more.
That was it.
100 times more.
Yeah, they were just touching the ball way more. So if you look at me and Stapes, how can me and Stapes, we shoot a webinar that does $1 million in sales, for example, and other people shoot a webinar and some people watch it and it does $0. What's the difference between these two outcomes?
Touches.
We've just done a lot more webinars than they've done. We've touched the ball more. We've touched the webinar more. And so that's why, the entire game here it's a touch game, and your ads are the same way, right? The more ads you do, whether it's a video ad or a story ad, the more of these things you do, the better you're going to get. And so your goal is to get as many touches as possible. Keep creating ads until you get good at it, because it's a skill that when you're good at it, can pay you like a professional soccer player.
100%. I'm glad we touched on that.
Yeah,
it's a great analogy.
I'm glad you decided to bring that up. So exactly. So if you haven't done a video yet, you know what? Try it. Just
time to touch the ball.
Yeah, just try it. And for your first ad, just choose one. You could do a story ad or a video ad. Choose one. Start there.
What's interesting is there might be some of you walking around in life right now, and you don't even know that you have a hidden skill set of video. You might actually be a natural on camera. You might be a good speaker. You know, we have people that we work with, our clients, that they come in, they're like, okay, not sure about the whole video thing, but I'm going to try it. We watch their video and like, wait a minute, this is your first video? Like, you're a natural at this. So you might actually have a hidden skill set that you don't even know you have yet.
Yeah, that's perfect, bro. That's perfect. And you know, today, me and Stapes, we actually have both video ads and story and video ads running at the same time simultaneously. So it isn't like, okay, should I do video ads or story ads? No, it's I'm going to do both video ads and story ads. Where should I start? You know what I mean? Because they both work really well. And, you know, Stapes, right before we started shooting this, you were talking about some of the benefits of actually doing both.
When you do both, what's going to happen is because we'll teach you how to target the audience that we just went over, having that avatar interest, those keywords dialed in. When you run both, they both fuel each other, because one day you'll have a lead that goes through and be like, okay, who's this landing guy? I'll read a story, interesting, awesome, whatever, life goes on. The next day, maybe the 2 days, maybe a week later, it's like, another video, but this is a video. Now I hear him speak. Now I can look into the white of his eyes. I can actually hear him explain his story. I'm in. So whether they see your video first or your story first, another thing, go ahead if you were to add on to that.
I was just going to say they just play off of each other.
They play off of each other. And another thing you have to understand too is most people learn and experience information differently. So some people really like to read. I know you're a big reader.
I'm a big reader because it's so much faster to me.
Now, I like video. Because I'm a visual guy. I'm actually, my background is video editing and stuff like that. So I learned from video really well. Landon learns from reading. So when you have both modalities in your marketing, you can actually hit different people.
So well said, bro. So well said. And so that's that. So again, even if you're like, you know what, I don't know if video is right for me right now, I think I'm going to start with a story ad. That's fine. I still recommend watching this video only because some of the takeaways, like what we just talked about, the talent code, if you skipped this video, you would have missed that. So we're going to be teaching things that are going to be applicable to both video and story ads. So watch this video regardless of whether or not you want to start with a video ad or not. So the video ad framework is awesome because it is the exact same framework that we use for our story ads.
And every big Hollywood blockbuster film follows the same exact thing.
Exactly.
Except the call to action. Sometimes.
Essentially, all we're doing is we're taking the story, and some of you could even write the story and then put that exact same story into video. Now, I would not read from a script, and we'll actually have below this video, we'll have booster trainings about shooting good videos and what goes into it. So we're not going to dive too much into that. But you don't want to read from a script. The most important thing isn't what you say. It's about what you feel about what you say, because that's what will cause other people to feel how you feel. If you've ever had a conversation with someone who, like, their eyes are darting around and their hands are a little shaky and you can tell they're nervous, all of a sudden you start feeling a little nervous. You actually start feeling the way the people around you are feeling, and it's unconscious. You don't even realize it's happening. And so if you just do a video confident, whether you're hitting all your key points or not, if you're confident, people will be confident in you. If you have certainty, people will feel certain about you.
Yeah, 100%.
Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, 110%.
And so,
you know, a lot of times too is like people don't connect and they don't relate to perfection.
Good
because
point.
Nobody's perfect. Humans are humans.
Good point.
We're all our own individual person, and I want to see you shine with your own personality. I want to see your flaws. I actually want to see you stutter a little bit. You know, I want to see you I want to see you be real. And one of the things that I like to do, and we talked about this a little bit ago, Landon, is when you're making your video, look into the eye of your camera, not as if you're on a platform speaking in front of thousands of people, stadiums of people. Look into the eye of the camera as if you're talking to your best friend. You're having a drink at a campfire, or having a drink at the bar, and you're sharing your emotions and sharing your experiences. Or you're at around a campfire and you're just hanging out with your friend. Make it conversational. And that's some of the most powerful form of video marketing around.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a high-end professional edit to do well. I mean, think about it like this. So imagine a world, you're scrolling through your Facebook. Imagine this is your Facebook account, and everything on Facebook is just, you know, it's a selfie video, and the native tongue is just selfie and story and personality.
Snapchat. I mean, Snapchat.
And so they're seeing all of this, and then they see a professional video. It actually doesn't even really fit in with like what Facebook is all about.
That's true.
In fact, the example we're going to show you here, we actually shot it semi-professionally. There's some edits you'll notice. And what we actually found after now doing more video ads is that simpler actually converts better. I actually just read a study a few days ago where a guy did 2 different video ads. They each had the same word. So it was essentially the same script, the same exact
message.
video, except one was professionally shot with the
With a
high-end
studio.
lighting, and it had other clips that were edited in. And the other one was just him on his cell phone, a selfie video. And guess what one did better, Stapes?
The selfie.
The selfie
Every
video
time, right? They did
better.
a few different
Yeah,
varieties
the
of it.
selfie personality based, just being a real person actually did better. So
Yep.
we're going to show you this one, and the reason we chose this one is because I hit this framework so perfect.
It's more of what you say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we really want to show you this, just to show you the framework. But again, today, our video ads, we don't go near as professional as we went here today. It's literally just a selfie.
And a lot of times, too, is what we're going to recommend is starting a selfie mode.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff we do, sometimes we just like to be creatively satisfied.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes entrepreneurs,
That's a good point.
we're creative beings, right?
Yeah.
So we'll teach you how to do both. We'll teach you down
good
the road
point.
if you want to be like, you know, I've got some really cool B-roll of me and my
What
family
is
on
B-roll,
vacation.
Staves?
Oh yeah, so I guess I should explain that. Thank you.
Yeah.
B-roll is essentially, I don't know how it came about, but there's A-roll and B-roll. A-roll is obviously number one. That's the main video. That's the main visual of essentially what you see. And B-roll is essentially extra. It's close-ups. It's panoramic shots. It's cinematic shots. It's not necessarily you looking into the camera talking. It's extra footage that you actually roll over your audio. It's a little bit, there's a little video production tip for you.
I use a little bit of it in here, so you'll see a little bit of what that looks like. I don't do a lot of it, but I do a little bit. I'm not a video editing guy. So let's talk for a second before we dive in and show you the example of just the framework. Again, we covered it super deep in the story ad video, so if you haven't watched that video, watch that first.
Yeah.
But here's the framework. It's the same thing. Number one, attention. So we want to start off with something that's like, hey, here's what I'm going to teach you in this video. What's up, my friend Landon Stewart here? Inside of this video, I'm going to share with you this.
Yeah.
That grabs their attention and says, this is probably worth watching. Number two, we have the pain problem. So then it's like, here's where I used to be. Here's the pain I used to have, the problems I used to experience.
Yep.
Then we have the turning point. But then I found this, and then we have the pleasure solution. And now, because I found that, now my life is this.
Yep.
Here's what you need to do next. Here's what I've got for you.
Exactly. Nice and easy.
Yes,
simple. Way to break it down simple.
And now, as far as time is concerned, time is not time. Number one, realize that. We recommend 3 to 5 minutes, but that being said, that is not a rule. That is a guideline to follow. There are right now video ads on Facebook that are 10 to 15 minutes long that absolutely crush it.
Yeah.
There are video ads on Facebook right now that are 60 seconds long that absolutely crush it. Length is not as important as being interesting and compelling. If you can only be interesting and compelling for 60 seconds, do 60 seconds. If it takes you a little bit longer to share your story and you're sharing things and it's rocking and you're popping and it's good, you can go a little bit longer. I think, though, in your first couple of video ads, if you can stick in the 2 to 3 to 5 minute range at most, I think that's going to kind of be your sweet spot to start. Because you would think that a shorter video would actually be simpler, but it's actually a little bit harder. Like a 60-second video is actually a little bit more difficult to get right than 3 minutes because you're saying a lot less words. So each word actually matters more. But then once you get longer than 5 minutes, now you're battling with keeping their attention.
Yeah.
And so 2 to 3 to 5 minutes in that range is kind of the perfect range for a beginner video marketer. Does that make sense, Dave?
Love it.
And so that is the formula to follow. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up my video ad right now so you guys can see it. You will have access to this doc so you can go watch it anytime you want. And it does that. I think, remember we were talking to Dave and Roxanne about that? I think it's just based on where it's at. But anyhow, so you'll see here just structurally of the video ad. Number one, I have a very short headline. Now, one thing we're doing today, and we'll probably teach this in the advanced booster section in the future, we're testing it out a lot right now, which is actually combining a story ad where we actually write our full story in the ad and combine it, instead of using a picture with it, using a video.
Yep.
We're actually testing that right now. As soon as we have that dialed in, we'll teach that in the future under that advanced booster section. Right now, a lot of our current videos that are doing really well, we're using just a really short how-to headline. It's like, here's how you can quit, or here's how to quit
read
your job.
yours.
Yeah, so here's mine. Mine was, how would you like to see how I've gone from 30K in debt to firing a boss and traveling the world? And how you can too. Go here to register for my free webinar. So it's essentially attention, call to action.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, 100%.
How to do this? So it could be like how to quit your job, travel around the world, or it's like, my friends laughed at me when I started my internet business, but now or whatever it is, right? And we'll give you, so underneath this example, we actually have an example from Stapes and 2 more. So we're giving you 4 examples, so you can kind of look at all 4 and you can kind of play with some of the ones that you like. So you'll notice that, number 1. Number 2, oops, I do that every now and then accidentally. Number 2, you'll notice that mine has a headline at the top and it has captions at the bottom. Now, to start, I actually don't recommend that you guys use that, and the reason why is it takes a lot of time and energy to do captions and to set that up, and the amount, like it might, for example, I'll use an example, it might take a lead cost down from $2.50 to $2.30. That's about the importance of it, so it might increase conversion slightly, but in the beginning it's important just to get work out there, and then after you have work out there, then you can come back and start adding in more things. In fact, a lot of times our best videos today, we actually don't even have the headline or captions in it. It's literally just a video and that's it, and it crushes it. And so it's not, you know, it's not big enough of a deal to like, okay, I'm going to sit here for 2 weeks and do these captions to have captions.
Like we said before, don't let your creativity slow down your speed of implementation.
Exactly. Now, that being said, there is a booster training right below this training that actually goes over how to do this. So after you place a couple of ads, I recommend placing ads first. But after you place a couple, if you'd like to add in captions and make your video a little bit more fancy, by all means, feel free to do it. So now what I want to do is just play this video for you. And again, like Stapes said, a couple words of warning. Number 1, Stapes is actually the camera guy here. You don't even have to have that. You could be a family member filming you if you want, or it could literally be you just holding the camera with your hand and selfie.
That's what I did for mine.
And that's what Stapes did for his. So like there are a lot of ways to do it. You don't have to look at this and be like, okay, so I need to start walking into a room. Like you don't. That isn't there. Again, there are a million people doing Facebook ads right now, video ads that are crushing it, and they're all different styles. So there's not like, okay, I need to find a red pool table. Let me run to the the pool depot over here. No, like you don't need that. So that's number 1. Number 2, I do edit in B-roll in this video. We'll show that to you. You don't need that at all. Like literally today, a lot of our video ads, we don't use it just to get more ads out there.
And you're probably asking, like, Landon Stapes, like, you're showing us what you do, but you're telling us to kind of simplify it. We're doing that purposefully. We want to show you exactly what we do, but we want to give you starting points to get there. Because we want you to get data. We want you to get speed. We want you to get experience right away. And a lot of this stuff is extra. It's extra icing on the cake, essentially.
Stapes, very well put. That's exactly right. We wanted to show you everything so that you're really clear on it. But you know, a lot of times today, me and Stapes would rather shoot a simple video ad and get 2 to 3 out instead of just 1 because we have to spend a lot more time on it. Like 2 to 3 out is more powerful than 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. 100%.
So
more touches.
It's just more touches, more experience, more exposure,
more data.
It's just better. You know, I see people that do literally a new video ad almost every week, every couple of weeks.
How much are they doing?
And they're making 50, 60 grand a month.
Yeah.
So it works really well just by doing a lot of them. So that being said, what I'm going to do now is just I'm going to play it, and then anytime there's an important thing, I'll pause it and just say, here's what happened. But yeah, I'll probably only pause it a few times.
Cool.
And this one's 4 minutes and 40 seconds, but the last minute is just pure B-roll. So it's about a 3.5 minute video, right in that sweet spot of 3 to 5 minutes.
And I want you, as he plays this, keep an eye out for the attention. Where's the pain?
Yeah,
where's the turnaround? Where's the pleasure? Where's the solution? I want you guys to kind of pull it on your own. We're going to stop it a few times and say a few things, but I want you to naturally look for that, because one thing me and Landon do, we're a student of the game, consistently looking at marketing, not from a consumer standpoint, from a marketing eye. So turn your marketing eye on, put your marketing hat on when you watch this, and you'll start noticing a lot of the nuances.
Perfectly put, bro. Let's play it. Hi, friend. My name is Landon Stewart, talking to you live out of Chandler, Arizona. And inside of this quick video, I'm going to share with you how I went from struggling in really every area of my life, completely broke, about $30,000 in credit card debt, to now, over the past few years, being able to completely change my life. I've been able... Okay, so what did we just do there, Stapes?
Attention grabber.
That is the attention. Now I used a little bit of both. So my attention grabber was essentially the classic. Here's how I went from this to this, which is kind of a classic copywriting attention grabber. Yours could just be, hey, here's how to, you know, whatever your thing is. It doesn't have to be from how I went from this to this, but that's a
here's
really
how
popular.
to. Here's how you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not here's how I. It's here's how you. Here's how to.
Yep, especially
you know what I mean?
in the beginning. Once you start getting some results and the ads are working, then it can be like, hey, here's how I place tiny little ads just like this and make, like, then it can be about you. In the beginning, it's about the person watching and the opportunity you're giving them.
Exactly. Good point.
So here we go. So that was the attention. Able to quit my full-time job. I've been able to begin traveling around the world full-time, and now I've actually created a multiple six-figure per year income inside of an internet business. I now create the kind of income that doctors and lawyers make, and I do that in just a few hours a day from the comfort of my own home. And I realize that might sound a little bit too good to be true. That might sound a little far-fetched, but stick with me.
Real quick. And I know Landon's, Landon, he went right into results. That's totally cool when you're positioned to say, now I'm positioned to. Now I can. Now I finally have the ability
I have
to.
the system. I have the community around me.
Yeah.
I finally have this. And this is just one type of video ad.
Yeah.
We're going to give you 4 examples. And
they're all different.
And many of the other examples, they weren't speaking about results. They were just purely talking about the emotions in their story, just like we did in the story ad, where it's literally like, I remember blah, 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 pain, turning point, pleasure.
Yeah.
I have the results, so I share them, and eventually you can too.
Cool.
Great note, Stapes.
3 secrets that allowed me to do this. So growing up, I knew for sure.
Okay, so I want to show you guys this. This is kind of a nuanced thing. I just want to show it. But that's kind of my hook. And so it's like in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 secrets I used to do this. So that was kind of like, that's kind of the end of my attention.
It's an open loop kind of.
Yeah. And then what do I say is at the end, hey, if you want to get the 3 secrets, they're in the webinar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of open up a loop, and that's the end of the attention. Now I'm kind of getting into my background story.
That I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I saw my mom lose her job. I saw my parents struggle with money. I saw the global economy begin to change, and I knew I wanted to do something for myself to set myself free, except the problem was I didn't have any money, so I couldn't go drop 50 grand on starting a franchise because I just didn't have 50 grand, and no one I knew had 50 grand either. So I did the only thing that I could think of at the time, and that was to start a little network marketing business. I saw this presentation where they're like, you go get a couple people, and they get a couple of people, and you can make all of this money, except it didn't work for me the way they said that it would, and I struggled in that model for years. Here I am, I'm out there prospecting friends and family, I'm searching around shopping malls, and I didn't know that the entire time there were people online creating real sustainable long-term incomes, a full-time income from home, without doing any of that stuff. I didn't know this even existed. And then back in 2013, I found these 3 secrets that I'm about to share with you, and it took me from broke, $30,000 in credit card debt at one point, I had just a few $100 in my bank account, to now creating this multiple 6-figure income. In fact, now when I walk into a restaurant, I don't even look at the price of anything on the menu. I remember walking into a Subway with my credit card in my hand literally shaking because I didn't know if I even had
I do want to pause it for a
sec. And now I don't look at the prices of food. I walked in.
Okay, I just want to pause it for a second. I just want to show you something. Stapes, what is this entire video?
Pain and pleasure.
Pain, problems, and pleasure.
Yeah.
And that's literally, like, I am doing nothing else except describing my pain and pleasure. I'm literally taking people on an emotional roller coaster of pain and pleasure. Because what moves people, Stapes?
Pain and pleasure.
Pain and pleasure is what moves people. And so I just keep going back and forth throughout pain and pleasure. Now, you can have yours a little more systematic if you want and just do all of your pains and then give the turning point, all of your pleasures, call to action. It can be a little simpler. I'm kind of bouncing around back and forth. I've been doing videos for years.
Yeah, and I want to touch on one thing.
Do it.
How many times did it take you to nail this video? Once or twice?
I don't remember.
I think we did one take and you're like, hey, the beginning wasn't good. Okay. You stopped, and then you're like, let's just do it one more. So it took Landon 2 times to do this video. Why? Because you've kicked the ball 1,000 times. Yeah. You have kicked this ball so many times. You've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. What I want to do is I want to give you all permission to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes. Yeah, don't mind about turning the camera on, flipping it on. It's a brand new skill set. You're brand new. You've never stepped on the field before to kick a soccer ball. Yeah. You need to really loosen up a little bit. Record a video. Some of our best clients breaking through now, like Tommy, Rob, all these people that we're working with, it took them a second, you know,
Yeah.
it took them a second. Watch your video, see what you can do better. Pull your shoulders back. Maybe I can speak a little bit more from my chest. Like, take some notes and stuff, but give yourself permission to go crazy with this. Make
Yeah.
5, 6, even if it takes you 10 times. I'll be honest with you guys. I've done a video ad before. It took me 20 takes.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more neurotic.
Yeah.
But I want to give you guys all permission to get into this, get a little sloppy. Give yourself permission to make as many videos as it takes to where you're like, I'm good. But, there's a big but. Don't go overboard on it. Post a video, get data. This is a day thing. This is a day thing. This isn't like a week thing where I'm going to record videos every day for a week to see if I get a video ad. Get out there, get data, because the marketplace decides on whether it converts or not you, not your insecure beliefs.
That's a great point, you know, because even some people, they'll come to us and be like, hey, I just shot this video, will you watch it and tell me how it's going to do? We have no idea. We don't know because we don't decide if it's going to do well. The market decides. Every now and then, I'll shoot a video that I think is going to crush. It doesn't do quite as well as what I thought. I'll shoot a different video that I'm like, I don't know. And then it crushes it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't know what the market's going to respond to. And so it's okay to shoot one. You're like, that didn't get quite as good of results as I want. I'm going to shoot another one. That's okay. Just keep getting more and more and more touches, and you can master the skill. Remember, money follows mastery. If you go into this with like, I am going to master video ads, or I'm going to master story ads, or just advertising online, I'm going to master. If you go into this with a mastery mindset, you can print your own check for the rest of your life.
100%.
Okay, so
100%.
Here it is. So I just wanted to stop that. I believe I'm going to continue doing more pain and pleasures for the next 2 minutes.
It's almost done.
Yeah.
Into a store the other day, and literally I realized that everything in that store that I want, I already own. Imagine that for you for a second.
Okay,
Imagine being able to travel around the world. Imagine being able to create a...
Okay, so one thing that you guys will notice with my pain and with my pleasure is I'm giving very detailed specifics. So it wasn't like... I was
sad.
Yeah, it wasn't like I was sad or
like
my business wasn't working. Like, no, I am giving specifics. I'm like, I remember walking into a Subway and handing my credit card and just praying that I could buy a $5 footlong. Like, and that's a true story. That is a true story. I remember that. And then it's like, and this is true. Then a little while back, I walked into a store and I was like, everything in the store that I want.
It was like a clothing store.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was like, everything in the store that I want, I've already bought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine a world where you literally buy whatever you want. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what I'm talking about here. But I'm giving specifics. And for you, it might not be money specific shit, but it could be like, I remember like trying to figure out how I was going to provide for my family. I remember being up at 2 a.m. one night searching pages and
walking
pages
into
of
the
Google.
house, my wife was crying on the couch because we couldn't afford things.
Specific. So it's not just I was frustrated.
Yeah.
It's like a specific frustration, because that's how people can really feel your emotion. Mm-hmm. If you just say, I was frustrated, they're like, okay, so what? I don't care. But if you're like, I was frustrated because I wanted to build my business so bad. I remember buying every course I freaking could, and I would study these things for hours, and then it still didn't work. Mm-hmm. And like, does that make sense? About how specific I am?
Specificity is the way to relatability, for sure.
Look at you, bro. I can't handle this right now.
Full-time income in a few hours a day. Imagine being able to do what you want. That's what these 3 secrets are all about. And I want to share them with you and show you how you can do this too. So here's the deal. This week, I'm putting on a brand new webinar where I'm going to walk you through these 3 secrets. On this webinar, when you attend it, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to introduce myself to you. I'm going to show you proof that this is working, not just for me, but for people who work with me as well. And then what I'm going to do is walk you through this 3-step formula and how you can implement it so that you can begin spending time with your family, traveling around the world, and doing what you want to do. So, my friend, I look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world. To register for that webinar right now, simply click on the link in this description. Click on that link right now, and within seconds, you can be attending this webinar, getting your hands on this information. I'll see you there. Again, my name is Lane Stewart. Bye-bye.
And then I do about a minute of B-roll after it. But as you can see, the last 30 seconds or so there was me explaining, okay, here's what I've got.
You told him a few times.
And that's the lead magnet, right? So for you guys watching, some of you, you're affiliates with us and some of our stuff. And so your lead magnet is our exact webinar. So what you can do is watch that webinar, pick out 2 to 3 things you can talk about. Hey, in this webinar, here's what you're going to discover
Very
when you watch
key
it.
point.
If you're giving away a cheat sheet on weight loss or something, hey, here's what you're going to get.
In the first few minutes, you're going to discover what bought. And, and, you know, halfway through, you're going to, like, that's a really good point.
Be specific with it.
Yeah, be specific with what's to come in the first few minutes of the video.
With what you've got.
And it's number one, it's an open loop. Number one, it also eliminates the fear of the unknown. It gets people going to like what to expect next. It's a really good tip there.
Cool. Yeah, be incredibly specific with what you've got. Then after I'm specific, like, here's what I've got. I've got a free webinar. Here's what it's going to do for you. So again, selling, what you want to do is you want to balance between two things. You want to balance between features and benefits. So what's the feature? Well, the feature is a webinar that they can watch right now. What is the benefit? Well, that's what the webinar is going to do for them. It's going to teach them how to do what you want. And so I'm not just saying, hey, I've got a webinar for you. It's 60 minutes long. I'm not just giving features, but I'm also not just giving benefits. I'm giving both the features and the benefits. Here's what it is. Here's what it actually is. It is a webinar. You can register now. Here are the details. And then I also give the benefits. Here's what it'll do for you.
Right.
And so for you, it's very simple. You literally, you look at whatever lead magnet you got. If you create your own, it's whatever, a cheat sheet or a PDF or whatever. You look through that, look for the core things. If you're using some of me and Stapes' stuff, watch the webinar.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's the benefit of watching this webinar? What are they going to learn? What's going to excite them? What's going to draw attention here? And have a few of those things on deck ready to go. And then you share that. And then what did I do? I told them exactly what to do. I was like, the link is in the description. I didn't even assume they knew where the link was.
Right.
Like I said, the link is in the description of this video. Click the link right now. You can watch my webinar within seconds. Click it now. Bye. And I told them exactly what to do, I believe 2 or 3 times.
Yep, at least. Always 2 to 3 call to actions. And one more thing. If you go back to the video really quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Set it up a little bit of a vaccination for you guys when you're doing video. Look at Landon. Don't try to be Landon.
Yeah.
Don't try to talk like Landon.
Good point.
Don't try to be anybody but yourself. A lot of times when I was making videos in the beginning, I had mentors. I had people that I looked up to. I would watch hours of videos, and I almost started thinking like I got to be super crazy high energy like Landon here, and really, what we want is an excited version of yourself.
That's, dude. So
yeah,
even
and
whenever
we're going to show you different examples.
Watching...
We'll give you other examples of my video. Like you'll see, I have a completely different way of communicating than Landon. You'll see what do we have below? Rob. We have Case. We have a few other people we're going to introduce you to. And what you'll notice is everyone has different energies. Everyone has different ways of communicating. And be yourself.
So crucial. Even when I first started watching Mark's videos, I remember watching him, and I'm like, okay. I have to, because Mark is so awesome on video. So I'm like, I have to try to be like Mark.
Yeah.
It's impossible for me to be like Mark because I'm not Mark.
Yeah.
And so probably about 1.5 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be me on video, which is a little bit higher energy.
Yeah, that's your natural self.
It's just me being me, and we want you to be you because there's not a right way. You can look at influential leaders. Some of them are calm, cool, collected.
Yeah.
Some of them are energetic and cares. Like whoever you are, be you. The world needs you, not another me, not another Stapes, not another Mark.
100%.
Great thought. So again, inside we have this document. You guys have access to it. We have 3 other examples here that you can actually look at right now.
All proven. All thousands of dollars have raked in.
All worked. I mean, yours had what, over 100,000 views, I think?
Yeah.
Let's see.
100,000 views. That's maybe probably about 40 grand.
Not bad. And that took you how long? With editing and everything, 3 hours?
Yeah, it took me a few takes to record the video and probably about 2 to 3 hours to edit.
So
it's about 4 hours.
3.5, 4 hours of work.
4 hours on the high end.
4 hours of work to make 40 grand.
It was an afternoon.
Worth it, Stapes?
Absolutely.
Worth it?
Absolutely.
Worth it. So again, you have access to those right now, and then at the end of all of the Facebook ads training, we will have case studies where we'll actually be breaking down each of these videos, just like we did with mine.
We're going to show you how to put them on Facebook. We're going to show you how to set up Facebook right now.
Exactly.
It's just getting your feet wet. It's getting you in the field kicking that ball.
What's your action step? Go ahead and shoot your video.
Yeah.
You don't need to have the ads account yet. You don't need to know how to place that ad on Facebook.
Even if it's just a test video right now, too.
Just shoot
Get
something.
on camera.
Practice
Get
a
on
little
camera.
bit. Practice a little bit. You'll be amazed at how much fun this can be 6 months from now after you've been shooting videos.
And do we have any insight on like basic camera skills as far as keeping the camera a little bit higher than your eyes,
having
decent
have a
lighting?
Booster training.
Okay,
so we'll have
cool.
a booster training somewhere on the page you're on right now that's actually going to go over just what
Don't
Stace is
record a
talking
video
about.
in your basement with no lights.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like,
You don't want it to be dark.
So we'll give you
lighting.
some insight into how to make a decent, simple video from home, a
Exactly.
do-it-yourself video. You don't need much. You need an iPhone and your smile.
Yeah, that's about it. And so we'll see you there soon. Again, your next step, create a video, and then in the next couple of modules, what we're going to do is actually show you how to set up your Facebook ad account, how to actually place your first ad, and then we'll show you how to optimize your ad campaigns. By the end of this, you're going to be a Facebook ads master. That's our goal for you. See you soon.
We'll see you on the next vid.